Today, we're taking a trip down memory lane and exploring how cartoons have defined different decades. I'm super excited to share with you the evolution of animation over the years. So let's get started. First up, we have the 1960s. This was a time of groovy music and psychedelic colors, and cartoons during this era were no exception. Two of the most iconic shows of the decade were the Flintstones and the Jetsons. The Flintstones was a primetime animated sitcom that followed the lives of a working-class Stone Age family, while the Jetsons was a futuristic show set in the year 2062. Moving on to the 1970s, we saw the rise of Saturday morning cartoons. Shows like Scooby-Doo and Super Friends were popular during this time, with their catchy theme songs and humorous depictions of crime-fighting teams. Scooby-Doo followed the adventures of a group of teenagers and their talking Great Dane, who traveled around in a van solving mysteries involving ghosts and other supernatural beings. Super Friends was a show that featured a team of superheroes from the DC Comics universe. The team included characters like Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, and Aquaman, who worked together to fight crime and save the world from various threats. The 70s were also the decade where the iconic Schoolhouse Rock series was born, teaching kids about everything from grammar to politics through fun and catchy songs. Overall, the 1970s were a time when cartoons began to take on a more lighthearted and humorous tone, while still featuring adventure and action. In the 1980s, cartoons became more action-packed, with shows like G.I. Joe and Transformers taking center stage. These shows were known for their epic battles and high-tech gadgets, appealing to both kids and adults alike. G.I. Joe followed the adventures of an elite team of soldiers who fought against the terrorist organization Cobra. Transformers was a show about two groups of robots from the planet Cybertron, the heroic Autobots and the evil Decepticons, who crash-landed on Earth and continued their battle for control. Another iconic show of the 80s was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, a franchise that has since become a cultural phenomenon. Overall, the 1980s were a time when cartoons became more focused on action and adventure, with epic battles and high-tech gadgets becoming a staple of the genre. The 1990s brought about a new wave of cartoons, with shows like Rugrats and Ren and Stimpy pushing the boundaries of what was acceptable for children's programming. Rugrats, in particular, was known for its portrayal of real-life issues and its relatable characters. The show followed the adventures of a group of babies. Ren and Stimpy was a show that was known for its gross-out humor and surreal imagery. The show followed the adventures of a hyperactive Chihuahua and his dim-witted cat friend, and featured scenes that were often shocking and disturbing. And who could forget about the rise of anime in the US during the 90s? Popular series like Dragon Ball Z and Sailor Moon captured the hearts of a new generation of viewers. Dragon Ball Z was a phenomenon that swept the nation, with its epic battles and larger-than-life characters becoming instant classics. The show followed the adventures of Goku, a powerful warrior who battled against all manner of villains in order to save the world from destruction. Sailor Moon was a show that was popular among both boys and girls, with its empowering message of female strength and friendship resonating with viewers around the world. The show followed the adventures of a group of teenage girls who transformed into powerful warriors in order to battle against evil forces that threatened the world. Moving into the 2000s, we saw a shift towards more adult-oriented cartoons, with shows like Family Guy and South Park pushing the envelope in terms of humor and subject matter. These shows were unapologetically irreverent and satirical, appealing to an older demographic. Family Guy became a cultural phenomenon, with its mix of cutaway gags, pop culture references, and biting satire resonating with audiences around the world. South Park was known for its biting social commentary and fearless approach to taboo subjects. The show's willingness to tackle controversial subjects head-on made it a lightning rod for controversy, but also helped to cement its place as one of the most influential cartoons of all time. Additionally, shows like Spongebob Squarepants and The Fairly Odd Parents became instant classics, appealing to both kids and adults with their humor and heart. Spongebob Squarepants, in particular, was a phenomenon unlike any other, capturing the imaginations of viewers of all ages with its zany characters, colorful animation, and upbeat music. The Fairly Odd Parents, meanwhile, was a show about a young boy named Timmy Turner, who was granted two fairy godparents named Cosmo and Wanda to help him navigate the ups and downs of growing up. And finally, in the 2010, we saw a resurgence of animation in popular culture, with movies like Frozen and shows like Adventure Time and Steven Universe capturing the hearts of kids and adults alike. Adventure Time was a colorful and imaginative series that explored the post-apocalyptic world of Uo, and The Adventures of a Boy and His Dog. Steven Universe was another hit show that promoted themes of love, acceptance, and diversity. It featured a diverse cast of characters and explored their relationships with each other while tackling serious issues like trauma and identity. Animated movies like Frozen and its sequel also became instant classics, with their catchy musical numbers and empowering messages of self-love and sisterhood resonating with audiences worldwide. Overall, each decade brought its own unique style and storytelling to the world of cartoons. As we've seen, cartoons have evolved and changed over time, reflecting the cultural and societal values of each era. It's been amazing to see how these shows have influenced and inspired generations of viewers. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you guys in the next one.